Duse M, PT.
Jump on it, jump on it, jump on it. Jump on it, jump on it.
Jump on it, ride it like Jockey. The hell smoking that loud, they see yak with mouth. Make your mama proud, popping it like shotty. Turn up, it's a gangster party.
PT ain't never popped a Mari, but if I ever catch Mac, I'ma pop a Holly. I don't even rob a cop the Harley. Blowing so much green, I shame Marley. Yeah, I push the line to its full limit. Hit the hole like 22, boy, I'm a young image. Nothing go like snow, now that's a cold image. Still whistling, sending, knocking them white women. Only reason I do it to avenge image. To the day they go before they box me out. Knowing me, it don't matter, I simply chose my route. On my hobby.
Where's. Welcome to the Damu and Kiwe Conversations. Home of the West Coast. The voice of the culture. It's Duse M the Dime. I got the fro picked out, you know what I'm saying? Y'all thought I couldn't grow it no more. Nah, I ain't got the George Jefferson like CS2 back. Bang that like button on y'all way in. Share, like, and tell a friend. Ed Bell, salute. West. Salute to Duse M the Dime. Free the big OGU. Peace and blessings to the family from 318 Sweetport, Louisiana. Deuce, keep up the amazing work. 100, homie. Fact. Yeah, area, Detroit, or what up? Kid the Barber. Damu and Kiwe Conversations. Duse M the Dime. We got the content. I'm rolling up right now, about to get my Facebook Live ready. Man, I'll go ahead and do your thing. The house rule, what it do, homie? Renegade Duchess, salute. Just woke up. Well, you woke up to the content. Michael Hawkins, what up? Carolina Connect TV. Shout out to the Blue Wrench Mob, Reckless Podcast. What up, bro? You know what I'm saying? Hey, Reckless Podcast. You and I forgot his name. Y'all ready to join the ETE? We're gonna have to put y'all in a group so we could better communicate and coordinate. You know what I'm saying? Because it's already over, you know what I'm saying? But you know, when they down, finish him. You gotta finish them all. You know what I'm saying? Keep your foot in his throat. You know what I'm saying? Because the Damu and Kiwe Conversations in the ETE, we started with this off. And we continued and broke them down and frustrated them. So I was looking today, right, on Google. So I said, why are Duse and Wack100 beefing? And it says the tension between Duse M's and Wack100 stems from a heated verbal clashes on Clubhouse regarding street politics, unverified claims, and a demand for physical paperwork or receipts. Duse M's co-founder of the UOD Room frequently challenged Wack100 to back up his aggressive assertions about various individuals and street figures, leading to mutual disrespect and long-standing online animosity. So I was demanding receipts. I was calling and holding Wack accountable 4 years ago. Edifying through entertainment. You know what I'm saying? Exposed. And then we got the Damu and Kiwe Conversation and the Exposers movement. Shout out to my boy Smoked Out TV, formerly known as Simply Talking Podcast. Shout out to Scandalous Los Angeles TV. Shout out to Tree Tips. Shout out to Southern Force. Shout out to Fam West TV. Shout out to Dice TV. Shout out to anybody else that I'm forgetting who helps bring content to the table, who does researches and sent it to me. It's a bunch of people that aren't formally a part of the ETE team. Y'all know who y'all is, and we appreciate y'all. Without y'all, it wouldn't be no us. Let's get to this content because it's gonna be a minute. You know what I'm saying? Let's get to the content. Bang that like button, share, tell a friend. I know that some of y'all gonna be on that other channel because y'all loyalties ain't with us, but that's cool. We not here for those who ain't with us. Booking.com. We here for those that's here. Salute to y'all though.
This is the perfect pair for your
Damu
iPhone.
Kiwe.
And it replaces 3 different chargers. This is the Ridge magnetic power bank. It snaps on with MagSafe, no cables, no guessing. 20-watt fast charging.
They got me feeling like I'm academics. Can't ride away.
Is Wack part of the B team? And did he tap in? What do y'all think? Okay, I say quick call. Okay, we do a quick call. All right, what's a quick call with Wack though? A quick call with Wack might be like, okay, all right. Quick call with Wack. Let's try it. 15 minutes tops. I think that works. If Wack doesn't pick up on the first ring, he must be really busy. Wack is a first ring type of nigga, man. Like, I feel bad missing Wack's call because when you call Wack, first ring, answer.
Your call.
Okay, he's busy. He'll call back as soon as he, can. Trust me. Wack is really good with that. That's like a manager type of thing. All right. Who else is part of the B team? The B team. Should we call Munchie B? I'm getting too far into lore at this point, huh? Okay. You know who wanted me to call him? Chat, are we doing calls or do you want me to, I'm hitting flow state right now. Should I do the calls or, just kind of keep rapping and then do calls later? I was going to call Dogface. Dogface was upset at me with our last Wack100 call. Remember the whole thing happened where Wack100 tells his story about him chasing Future into the jet bridge at LAX. That is now added to the indictment of Big U. Wack came on here and told us and said, that got nothing to do with me. Actually, it's clear. He said Big U's co-defendant is snitching.
Listen.
Because that's the only way they could get that.
See, this is when you know that it's a hit job, right? They trying to clean up. See, people can't tell me that Akademiks ain't in with the whole shebang, that he doesn't know exactly what's going on. Not because he's smart, but because he's entrusted and in that position for a reason. These covert operations to target the hip-hop community and street gang elements is huge. It's national. It's international. So yeah, y'all need to pay close attention when he talks about Wack100 said. Wack100 said. Well, as a journalist, where is your corroborating these facts? How are you just putting out these uncorroborated facts as if they're universal truths just because that's your boy? This is how he exploits platforms like Wack1, like No Jumper, DJ Akademiks, and Cam Capone. Let's go, bro.
Info in the paperwork. He also denies that the info they got was true because they're saying, he says Big U Future was never touched. Now, it's a little bit of distinction there because the paperwork mentions 2 different articles, right? Like it mentions 2 different times Future was like ran down on. Once was in a club and they believe he was beat up there. Okay. Is it this? Okay.
Hit that like button when you come in.
All right. Oh. Yeah, they believe he was beat up there. So they claim he was physically assaulted at that particular thing. But then otherwise, they claim he was chased. And when they claim he was chased, they don't really claim that he was beat up after being chased. So Wack had said in his response, that can't be, what happened because we didn't assault him and they claim he got assaulted. But from what I saw, they didn't accuse Wack of assaulting or Big U. Let me see. Where's this paperwork at? Give me a second. Is it this? Nope. There we go. Sorry. Huh. We could look it up in a second. All right. Do y'all want me to? Okay. So should I call Dogface or not? Let me know, please.
Let's get active in the chat. The chat's where it's at.
Do y'all want me to call Dogface?
Turns out you should never sue the driver who crashed into you after a car accident. There's a much better way you could get paid a way bigger.
All right.
Oh, it's finna get good.
Let's try to call Dogface.
Kurt Hudlin, what up?
Dogface was extremely upset.
What's up?
He said that I was allowing Wack to misuse my platform to distort the truth.
Your call has been for.
Oh shit, niggas got D&D on like. Okay, we got through D&D. We got through D&D, chat. Don't you worry. We got through D&D.
What's up, Mac?
Mr. Dogface, I'm on stream. We have 12,000 people watching. You have a moment?
Yeah, I got a moment.
I wanted to call you because I've seen your videos. I could tell you were extremely perturbed. You accused me of allowing Wack100 to misuse the platform to spread his propaganda against the recent, information that came out that a story that he is told frequently online about him chasing Future has now entered Big U's indictment. According to Wack, he says that came from a snitch on Big U's team saying it because the story isn't all the way accurate. And basically, he says because this is a overt act, it's not a new charge, that really, it's the feds. The feds might be just reaching. What do you think about the whole thing? I know you were calling, and I did see your call, but I know you and Wack can't have a civil conversation, so I wanted to keep you guys separate, at least to, just for the audience.
Run them likes up.
What's your whole thoughts on the recent stuff with Big U?
So listen, can you hear me?
I hear you loud and clear.
Okay, so listen. First of all, I did accuse you of allowing Wack to come on your platform and to use your platform to try to cover up what the whole world knows is his hand in Big U's case. So let's just start with the 900-pound gorilla in the room. Mm-hmm. The only person who has ever told the stories about what was allegedly happened at LAX between Wack, Big U, Future, Sierra, and then you throw Stunner, and you throw Trick in the mix because he mentioned them. The only person to ever tell that story publicly was Wack. Now, if we just frame it with just Wack being the only person to tell the story, and then let's look at the fact that Wack told the story. He was the only one to tell the story. So how could there have been a snitch in Big U's camp when nobody was there? Big U, when he heard Wack telling this story a couple of years ago, Big U denied that it ever happened.
That's a fact.
Trick denied it ever happened.
That's a fact.
Future said that it didn't happen.
Fact.
We haven't talked to Sierra, and we haven't talked to Birdman about the whole thing. But the only person to ever bring this story up.
Well, he did say he has never mentioned Birdman. Even though,
look at Akademiks. See, this is what we talking about. Well, he did say. So he's defending Wack100's lie and position, utilizing his platform to lie and defend Wack100. This is really reminiscent of when I dropped the CS2 Back documentary. This is a trend. This is his modus operandi. They utilize his influence to muddy the waters on situations that's clear cut. There is no ifs, ands, or buts about whether or not CS2 Back mentioned Stunner's name multiple times on that audio. This is nasty work, bro. Let's go.
So listen,
Akademiks should be ashamed of himself.
So he lied. So we know he lied, and you know he lied, and your entire chat knows he lied because on his own
What's
clubhouse,
up, Lisa?
On his own clubhouse, the guy played the tape back for
Rich
him.
Dollar
He ran the tape back, and he said Stunner. We know he said Stunner. So
Rich Dollar 64 ran the content. We ran that last night. Shout out Scandalous Los Angeles TV for covering that content. We ran that last night off of Scandalous's channel, and he showed how Rich Dollar held him accountable for once. And then Wack want to call him the police. He definitely said Birdman name, Stunner name several times. Let's go.
Listen, Akademiks, you a good person. You one of the most powerful people in urban media. And my thing with you is, I don't think I have to even break down all of Wack's flaws. And I don't think that I have to go over what happened with that whole thing.
No, I feel like I'm knowledgeable of. So I want to hear the conclusion, though. So here's what I personally think, right? And I'm being all the way real. What I believe is that, I think Wack has slightly a little bit of egg on his face. I maybe this came from someone, as he's saying, like, who's snitching or whatever, but I feel like a story that he told that he thought was innocuous and innocent, the feds consider that actually as extortion.
Wait. Wack100 made the statement about Future. This is how this Sambo, who ain't even a black American, insults our intelligence and plays in our motherfucking face. He wants us to believe that Wack believes that the feds, that the statement he made about Future and Big U is innocent, that he didn't have intentions, that he didn't strategically implicate Big U in these crimes. This is how he insults our intelligence. Akademiks think we all dumb, dog. Damn. Well, I guess we got him beat then. They say if you could bluff him, you could beat him. Let's go.
And that's the big thing that, I think he probably realized now, like, oh shit, yes, you're asking someone for their money, or you're asking for money that was owed, but if you threaten, if you do violence, if you do it in a certain way, that is part of what people or the feds would call extortion. So that got added to the overt act. I was only shocked by, and that's why I'm asking your conclusion. I'm gonna let you speak in a second. I'm shocked it got added now, and I'm wondering, other than what Wack has said publicly, what other information do they have? Maybe Wack's just chatting. Maybe this never happened. And I think that would go into a conversation of, is the feds just listening to podcasts and throwing anything
open,
like
source,
throwing shit on the wall, hoping something sticks?
Listen, bro.
So listen, let me take a deep breath.
I think that's where he started making sense, because he knows about open source intelligence. Wack100 knew about open source intelligence. That's why he's putting it out there, not innocently, like he just tried to insinuate, but purposely, with intents to get this man locked up, knowing that Big U was already under federal RICO. How do we know that Wack100 knew Big U was under federal RICO investigation? Because Wack100 was the first one telling us Big U got a RICO indictment coming. Loose Cannon, Rico the Rat Rod Gay, the Crip Cop. They told us this about 1.5 years before Big U was ever arrested. So you know the police watching, and you taunt them. You try to get them to do something that'll get them locked away for life, knowing that the police watching. You implicate Big U in crimes. You implicate Big U's character based on information you've gathered, experience you shared with Big U. And in that way, you become a character witness before the AUSA, the government, the prosecution. You're defining and describing Big U's get down in these stories so they can utilize it in trial without ever having to subpoena you and have you testify to it, because it's open source. This is the Fed's new way of gathering intel. No more CS2 back. He's evolved with the times. He's now open source whack. Or should we say open source back? Let's get to the content. Hashtag open source back in the comments. Question.
So let's just back up for a second. And I'm gonna play this game with you tonight. First of all, so we talk about overt acts. Overt acts are things that the feds add to indictments that really speak to the character of the overall scheme of what the person is charged with. We're talking about a conspiracy here. So when you look at Wack telling that story, nobody else told the story publicly but him. So Wack's trying to attribute, or he's trying to blame a snitch in Big U's camp and saying they're responsible for doing it. But how would they know? How would they have that measure of details? Nobody would have that measure of details but him. And on top of that, how is that an overt act for Big U when Wack said that he was the one who spotted Future and Sierra? He was the one who approached Future. He was the one who basically chased Future down the jet bridge.
Okay.
He was the one who cornered Future. And when Future called Stunner on the phone and threw the phone at him, Wack was the one who had the conversation with Stunner. And Stunner, and he said that when Stunner said, "Oh man, what you doing, man? I'm busy. I don't want you to be busy." Okay, well, I know you're being busy, but I don't want you to be busy. And Wack said, well, he owes Trick $50,000, and
hit that like button. Let's go.
And owe bro no money. He either gonna pay the money. He gonna pay the money. He said, quote unquote, he gonna get fucked up and pay the money, or he gonna pay the money. It's his choice. So that's a threat. That's extortion. Now, here's my point.
Facts.
He's doing all this shit. He never said that Big U did anything except get the luggage off the goddamn conveyor belt after they went through TSA. So how could this be added as an overt act to Big U and contributed to Big U when Wack is the one who's guilty of every goddamn thing? Okay. Big U didn't do shit.
All right, perfect. And let's stay there. Right? So we're same train of thought. So when I first read this, I thought the alarming thing to me was that they said that essentially Big U and a co-conspirator. Now, when you see that word in an indictment, it tells me that the police or the feds have in their mind, in their story, they believe that there is a co-criminal. So when I looked at that, I said, wow, this is kind of serious. It looks like they're expanding the things that they think Big U have done, and they're also accusing Big U of doing things with Wack. Now, here's the thing. That makes him possibly a suspect. I don't think they put you as a co-conspirator if you're not a suspect. Here's the thing about the online narrative, and that's where I want you to help me figure it out. Because
so this is how simple it is. They say they're expanding the allegations and the details of Big U's character for trial by adding additional overt acts. And in these overt acts, they said he did this with Future with a co-conspirator. So not only are they adding overt acts of criminal behavior, threats, intimidation, extortion, violence, they're also expanding upon the web that the indictment encompasses. Because this indictment doesn't say Bear Claw name. This co-conspirator, doesn't say Bear Claw name. It doesn't say they name. They just referred to a co-conspirator. Now, because CS2 back and his big ass mouth, you know you done fucked up, right? You know you done fucked up, right? CS2 back in his big mouth went online bragging on this. This is on World Star Hip Hop from 2022. We know who that co-conspirator is. And they're not going to list you as a co-conspirator unless they believe you participated in a crime. Now, sometimes the grand jury might believe there's not enough evidence to charge you. Sometimes you're an unindicted co-conspirator because they confronted you with the evidence and you began to work. You began to talk. You gave them something. You gave them somebody. And I believe that's where we stand with Wack100 today. And he's out here working. Shout out to the little boy from Avalon. Shout out to the weird nigga on that 50-50 yard that's messing with the homosexuals claiming from Blackstone. Say Wax his big homie. I never thought in my life I hear a nigga from Blackstone saying a federal confidential source was his big homie. But this is one of the reasons why I distance myself from ties to the blood gang and as far as this new generation. I'm a dinosaur. I'm an ancient artifact. I come up under the old law. This new wave shit is boo-boo. Garbage. But yeah, they're not going to call Wack a co-conspirator unless they believe that he did crimes with Big U. That he conspired to do crimes with Big U. Just like they're expanding these overt acts, they can expand with another superseding indictment and connect CS2 back as to the drawdown RICO prosecution. Let's go.
A lot of times when you guys are, and I'm saying you guys like kind of like just tongue in cheek because I know you have specific things that you talk about Wack with. There's other people who talk about him in a negative manner. But here's the thing. I say that you guys can't play both sides. There is an argument that people say that Wack is an informant. Now, if he's an informant, right? I'm not saying he can't be called a co-conspirator.
If he's an informant, nigga, I've been exposed he was an informant, and you said you don't care if he's an informant when you watch my documentary Akademiks. You don't recall that? And now you're putting in the question. You're taking, again, this is his way. Just like he said whether or not Wack100 said Birdman name. That's a definitive. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. But before his audience, he makes it seem like it's plausible. Like there's a chance that that's not the case. When in all actuality, there's zero chance that he didn't say that when we have evidence on World Star, Clubhouse, YouTube, everywhere. And here again, when it comes to CS2 back being an informant, he says if, as if we ain't already exposed the exposers, as if they erasing us from the history. Ha! You too near me not to hear me, nigga. Huh. Yeah.
But everything points to me like Wack is a suspect, not just he's not an informant. He's a suspect.
Hold on.
Wait, Akademiks. So this is where he plays in our face again. So you believe that someone who's a suspect or who does a crime can't be a suspect and an informant? We just showed Dale Morrison got caught still doing crimes while he was working with the federal government. What the fuck you mean? Niggas be working and doing crimes. Sammy the Bull. These niggas, this is the age of the killer rats. These snitches will knock you down. Look at Stutterbox. Train will knock you down. And while he was working, he was still selling X pills, got caught with them, high-speed chase, went back to the feds, or went to the feds for the first time. What do you mean? Because he's a suspect, which we all must agree, and that's why he's agreeing to that part, that he's a suspect, suspected of doing criminal acts with Big U. At this point, that's established. He knows he can't argue against that because this is what the paperwork shows. But what he tries to do is he tries to twist it and put doubt into whether or not Wack100 is an informant. And this is what this phone call was about. Wack100 is on a campaign to flood the internet with as much bullshit that it drowns out the voice of reality. And yesterday's news exposing him in Big U paperwork becomes yesterday's news. He'll come with something more shocking, a bigger headline, and he'll have Akademiks and No Jumper running. And y'all gonna forget about this part. But yeah, you could be a suspect or a criminal and still be working. What do you mean? The two could both be true. Let's get to it. Playing in our face, bro.
Big U is under a massive federal indictment.
Yes.
So if Wack is a suspect, if they're saying that he is a co-conspirator in any way, then he should be indicted with Big U. You can't be a suspect.
That's true.
In saying that you helped in a conspiracy and not be indicted with the conspiracy unless you are working in conjunction with the authorities in some way. So I want to back up for 1 second and take a deep breath. You're saying that Wack is a possible suspect. Well, if he's
that's what those words mean to me.
Okay, listen. If Wack is a possible suspect in a far-reaching conspiracy that covers a lot of territory, we know that Wack ran with Big U for years. Wack was Big U's basically second in command. Wack and Big U ran hand in hand long before Loose Cannon, long before anybody else. When they were still cool, they was doing what they were doing together. So if Wack is the suspect in at least one thing, and that one thing is what happened between Future, Sierra, Stunner, Trick, and all that other kind of shit that he said that happened to LAX. If he's a suspect in that, he's a suspect in a crime.
Yes.
And as
hold on. But not because he's a suspect in the crime mean they have enough at this point to charge him. There was hold on.
He admitted it.
Hold on though. Wait, hold on. Let's talk through this and let's argue logic here. So I want to point out a particular. You might not know this case, but there was a case, and my chat knows it. There was two men who were accused of killing somebody named Stefan Mack. By the way, that's the guy who supposedly killed Dirk Brother, right?
Yep.
They kept referring in the indictment against the two shooters that they were going to get paid by a co-conspirator. The co-conspirator was Lil Durk. Lil Durk never officially got charged in that case. Why? They didn't have enough info or information or whatever to get the indictment on Durk, but they alluded to him in that indictment as a co-conspirator because in their story, and these guys did a murder for hire. So what I'm saying is that what I could definitely say, reading the paperwork and chat, I'm gonna bring the paperwork back up here again, and you guys could, we could flush it out. It appears that they're saying they believe that Wack was a co-conspirator in this conspiracy of extortion, but because he's not charged, I can't just automatically go to, oh, he's a snitch. If anything, look at Dirk. Even if you're 6'9", they'll charge you if they feel they have enough to make you guilty of a crime to actually make you flip. They wouldn't leave you out there uncharged where you could be just doing whatever. So that's where I kind of like jump off the train, where I'm like, I don't believe Wack is an informant.
Let me put you back on the goddamn train. Listen, everything you just said about the
Dogface, listen, bro. We've already been there. He said he doesn't care if Wack is an informant. Look at his comments. Wack's the feds. Future can at least give us what a time to be alive to before he fizzles out. But Wack is the feds. His Akademiks chat is telling him that. But I think he got a bigger agenda. I think there's higher powers behind him. And the higher powers is telling him to help Wack100 keep his cover a little longer.
Whole step on back, a little third thing, all that's correct. But let me introduce something else. They would leave that motherfucker out there and let him work if he's working. Wack100 is working in a concerted effort to take down everybody in the crypto organization, starting with Big U. That's number one. Number two, when you look at everything that he has done...
Hold on. I'm asking one question towards what you said. How does him telling a story that, yes, involves Big U, but he clears Big U's name because he said he did everything, how does that help take down Big U? I think Wack running his mouth and saying that put him in hot water.
No, it puts him in hot water, but it establishes and corroborates whatever any other informants already have said. Or if they haven't already spoke on it, they later come, Wack lines it up. It's like that jab that you hit the nigga with, but it's not really a jab to hit him hard. It's to push his jaw right into that hook, that overhand. Wack100 is throwing it up there because he's finna have another informant come corroborate it as if it was a fact. It's an alley-oop. But it goes back to open source intel. Let's get to open source intel because I've been yelling this shit now for about a year and a half. Once I learned about open source intel, how do the feds use open source intel in federal RICO cases, and how does that give AUSA a tactical advantage? So I want y'all to advantage. So I want to read this to y'all, right? Federal investigators and assistant United States attorneys routinely, this is what they do. This is part of their routine. Routinely use open source intel. Let me close this off. Y'all got to read this with me, bro. See, this source back is his new name. It's no longer CS2 back. Open source back. Federal investigators and assisting U.S. attorneys routinely use open source intelligence, OSINT, in RICO cases. OSINT refers to information that is lawfully available to the public, such as social media posts, podcasts, YouTube videos, news reports, public records, corporate filings, live streams, and other publicly accessible content. So when y'all send me notes like, hey, this Anhefe content is hot, it's on TMZ, he got caught up on the murder, I'm not covering it. Oh, they talking about this murder and YG and they trying to talk about Drakeo the Ruler and Munchie B. I'm not covering it. Because it's being monitored. All of this information is being collected by the federal intelligence organizations, FBI, CIA. Y'all forgot Edward Snowden? We under surveillance. And this is one of their tools that they routinely use in federal RICO cases. The tactical advantage is not that open source intel alone proves a RICO conspiracy. It usually doesn't. And that's what Akademiks is playing on. He's playing in our face because the open source intel alone by itself doesn't prove RICO conspiracy. Rather, open source intelligence help investigators generate leads, corroborate evidence, identify relationships, establish timelines, and present a compelling narrative to a jury. Sound familiar? Oh, we finna cook today. Bang that motherfucking like button. Y'all in the Damu and Kiwe Conversations. Let's get to this real quick. Y'all want to hear corroboration? Y'all want to hear corroboration? Y'all want to hear open source intelligence? We finna get right to it. Remember this about 2 years ago? Let me close this off real quick. Hit that like button. We cooking, bro. I got my fro out today. This is the new COINTELPRO, bro. Remember this?
I was doing something. You know, you're doing something, you kind of listen to somebody talk, but you doing some other shit. Mm-hmm. And this dude did some shit, made me drop some shit. Uh-oh. I misplaced a little, I was putting together my remote control car. I done misplaced a piece, I still can't find it. And I told him, and you know me, Adam, if I get some information or some content, I'm going to fry your ass up.
Yeah,
I said, nephew, this content I can't present. You got to present it because you ain't lied to me yet. Because he's behind a lot that you've seen, you just should know it was him. Okay. We're going to tell you off camera.
What kind of stuff?
Agreed, Buckwell.
He's behind a lot of that you see on YouTube, you just say, no, it was him. So I know he ain't no bull, but man, listen.
No, so
yeah, you got to elaborate on this shit.
I got to, because at the end of the day, it's like dealing with, like, you know, when you're in hood politics and stuff like that. And well, let me go back where it first started, right? So I ended up whooping Molly Mall ass, right? Put it on camera. Guy named Big U. It's cool. They used to be brothers, right?
That's you talk about Big U and Molly Mall.
No, Big U, Molly Mall, and you.
Yes.
Molly Mall, who you're friends with.
Yeah, that's my brother.
Right. Yeah, they used to be they all
still my brother.
He put us on the phone together.
Still my brother.
Yeah. Molly Mall is a good dude. He just a scammer. So, you know,
Molly's not a scammer.
Allegedly.
Molly Mall is a scammer on crazy.
You and Molly Mall
is good. Cool. They still good.
Me and Molly Mall is good.
He talks the truth.
Molly's not a fucking scammer.
I fuck with
you know what? This is what I'm gonna say.
Look,
all the business I've ever did with Molly, he always delivered.
No, have you ever seen Molly Mall produce a song?
He has the producers.
No,
Pooh Bear, nigga.
Pooh Bear is a writer. Pooh Bear is. He makes the studio available. Yeah.
He provides the beats, and then he demos them, and then when people pull up, he press play. I got a hit the Game and Jeremiah joint.
No, he's just saying though, he just puts his name on things. He don't really do it.
A whole bunch of these producers do that.
That's smart.
You know that shit.
You right about
That's
that?
true.
That's a fact. Go ahead. We listen.
Okay, so basically, after I whipped Molly Ma's ass for doing some bullshit, and then and Molly Ma would tell you, he was like, I was in the wrong, I was fucked up, I was going to jail, I was off drugs and stuff like that. I was just fucked up. So I don't know why I play with you like that.
I don't know that, Molly. I guess when I come around, I've never seen him do drugs or none of that shit.
Yeah. So I told him that, and then I guess Big U told Molly Ma some shit, and then when Big U told Molly Ma some shit, he told you. Molly Ma told you.
He definitely told me.
And then you called Big U, and when you called Big U,
let me see how many of y'all pay attention to what's going on. So Loose Cannon said Big U told Molly Ma some shit, and Molly Ma went back and told you some shit. First of all, you on here talking about open source intel and implicating Big U in crime. Why didn't you want to say what Big U told Molly Ma? Why didn't you want to be explicit on what Molly Ma told Big U? It all ended up being in the paperwork anyway. What did Big U tell Molly Ma on wiretap? Let's see who gets it in the chat. Bang that like button if you in here. What did Big U tell Molly Ma on the wiretap? He told him that CS2 back was a rat. A federal informant is what he used. He said CS2 back was a federal informant. And Molly Ma ran back and told Wack100 what Big U said. So at that point, Wack100 knows, oh, so that's why Big U ain't answered my calls. That's why Big U cut me off. Oh shit, what I'm gonna do? This is in the paperwork. This is in the paperwork on wiretap. Now let's get back to it. Open source back.
he got mad because you outed him, or Molly Ma outed him. So he basically said, fuck you and fuck Molly Ma.
So because Molly Ma ran back and gave Wack a heads up. Look how Wack looking, man. Don't say too much, right? Big U like, man, fuck that nigga 2 nouns. You ran back and told that rat nigga. Nigga, that's when Big U should have knew Molly Ma was working. Let's go.
So
that's why he got mad at me?
He got mad at you because you called him as a man and you stepped to him and he felt...
Because Molly Ma's supposed to be his brother. I've seen Molly Ma bail him out of jail.
Look how he over-talking.
Just give him the fucking mansion and say, here go the keys. Here go the keys of my cars. You my brother. I love you. When he was short on money, Molly Ma go in his pocket, look out for him. I saw Molly Ma help his artists, give him free beats. So when I hear some shit like that, because...
Have you ever wanted to see your home from space? With this free satellite Earth Maps tool, you can zoom right...
It was a situation on Sunset. Molly Ma's eating. You see some guys pull up and they get at Molly Ma, right?
Saying what?
They get at him. Ain't no saying nothing. Action.
They beat his ass.
They beat his ass. Okay.
They get at him, right?
Yeah,
That's
was a lie.
So I'm like, so I get
you
the call, right?
He lied about that.
I'm like, he like, yo, I say, yo, who was that? He like Loose Cannon. I say, what Loose? I say, where he from? Because I know it ain't him. Because Big U from 6-0. Ain't no way Loose get that Molly Ma like that. So when he say Loose Cannon, I'm like, from where? He like 6-0. I say, wait, that was Loose that did you like that? I said, hold on. So I called Big U. Hey, man, why is Loose doing that to bro? Now, you got to remember, me and Molly do real business. I come get a beat from him. You know, I pay him for...
Put a 1 in the chat if you think once Loose Cannon did that on his own. Gigi said it was because Loose Cannon caught Molly Ma DMing her trying to fuck her, and he intercepted the pass on social media So when he seen him, he lined that nigga up and beat him up. So how many of y'all put a one in the chat if y'all think Wack said, hey, Marley, man, Wack, Big U lined that up. You think Lou's gonna do that without Big U okaying it? You that slow? Man, that was the play. He told Loose Cannon to do that, and he gonna play the good guy. Man, listen, this is the play, man. I told you that nigga's a snake. Put a one in the chat if you think Wack100 played them against each other, and that's why Marley Marl sided with him. Let's go.
Or B give him his points. We got to hit him and Game and Jeremiah came for Marley, right? So Big U like laughs the shit off, right? So I'm like, yo, bro, what kind of shit you on? I thought Marley is, you know what I'm saying? What kind of shit you on?
Yeah.
Right? So then, you know, he started to make mention of certain things, and I guess he must have called you back or called Marley back. He called Marley back and said, you called Wack? And told Wack, and at this point in time, Marley like, fuck me calling Wack. What's up with your homeboys doing me like that? You know, I didn't let your kids stay. I didn't did everything in the world for you. What's up with your... And at that point in time, I think Marley's light came on.
Yeah, but see, people don't understand, like Big U, he got his name for dealing with like niggas like me. So it's not like he actually doing work or putting in work himself or whatever. He just do it and then put his name on. Same thing like what Marley Marl did. Right. Marley Marl act like he made this beat and take a picture in front of the studio, but actually he's selling you somebody else's product. You know what I'm saying? That's what Big U do. He finesse niggas. He acting
but is
like
that somebody's product? Because if Marley Marl provide the workplace, he provide the tools, and he say, yo, and I'm gonna let you work here, and we're gonna cut this shit up. My influence is gonna bring the artist here to move the product. I never heard Marley say he did some beat.
But what kind of shit are you saying that Big U does that he then stamps but doesn't actually do? You're talking about like street shit?
Yeah, no, like street shit. So basically, say if I go do something in the hood, right?
He said street shit. What does Big U do that you say he claimed Adam 22 knew why Wack brought him here? This is the play. This is why this open source intelligence we finna watch is also overt acts in Big U's federal RICO case. This is how they do it. Now I'm gonna read some of the open source intel shit again. The tactical advantage is not that open source intel alone proves a RICO conspiracy. It usually doesn't. Rather, open source intel helps investigators generate leads, corroborate evidence, identify relationships, who knows who, how they get along, how they don't get along, establish timelines, and present a compelling narrative to the jury. We finna put all of this at the bottom on the ticker because I want y'all to remember exactly what's going on while we watching this. Because some of y'all is remedial. You know what I'm saying? Scroll across the ticker. Let's go. Okay, scroll across the ticker. Let's go. Hold on. We got to turn this one off first. Bam. Now, how do I put this on? Now, there it go. Let's start it back over. I want y'all to watch this open source intel.
And he knows about it. He'll tell everybody in the hood.
Like it's him.
So, like it's him, but then they be calling me. It was like, cuz you just did this, and I'm like, cuz that's like some police shit. Because why would you be telling, if me and you is the only person that know what we did, it shouldn't even go between.
Are you woke, Loose?
Of course.
Are you woke now?
Yeah.
You know why he's putting it out there, right?
Of course.
He got to get that credit for that some street contract.
Of course. So at the end of the day, it's like
What if I told you that the moment your book is
Generate
published, there could be a
leads.
giant billboard featuring you and your book
Corroborate
in Times
evidence.
Square, and in addition, a video
I'm
trailer
gonna call
that
out
tells your book's
CS2
story,
back
a paid advertisement.
corroborate.
I realized like, damn, it's 2023 and you got a BlackBerry. Like they didn't even.
How long have I been asking me about that BlackBerry?
Since 2015.
So that's the phone that he got.
Yeah, his name's in the contract. 7th Street Division issued him a BlackBerry as a police issue phone to report all gang violence in his grid area. And this is an annual contract. If he doesn't produce, then they take it. He's been having a contract 10, 11 years. He did such a great job. He went from $550,000 a year. They gave him a $440,000 bonus. We send the contract. But listen, fuck all that.
Yeah. So basically, it's like, cause he'll be like he'll manipulate things. Like we'll go and do something, and the same niggas we do it to show up to the house like 10 minutes later when we trying to counting everything, right? And we be like, how the fuck they get that? Oh, well, we're gonna just give them like $40,000 back and stuff like that. But cause it's actually putting us in paperwork, right? And like doing like real police shit. I seen the nigga get like 20 guns, and when he got 20 guns, he's selling them to the homies. But I'm like, why are you writing down the serial numbers? So it's like he was doing like shit like that, and I didn't catch on. So it was like
open source. Big U is selling guns. The police can utilize that information, especially if they get corroboration to get a search warrant to search Big U's residence and places his cars and places he frequent. This is the type of his business. This is the type of open source intelligence that we're talking about that leads up to RICOs and conspiracies.
I'm waking up, and you get what I'm saying? Because I'm his, high-tech shit. I'm his right-hand man. You get what I'm saying? So when it came down to like dirt and stuff like that, I'm gonna get it. You get what I'm saying? And then like one day,
you know why he wanted to get a dude back to 40, right?
Open source.
Because he was gonna make dude give him 20 for getting it back.
Of course.
Corroboration. Y'all see what it say? Corroborate evidence. You know why he gave dude back to 40, right? Why? Because he was going to charge him 20 for him giving him back to 40. Corroborating evidence. Corroborating the modus operandi. Becoming a character witness against Big U for the prosecution through open source intelligence. Do y'all understand what I just said? Right before our eyes, Wack100 corroborates evidence of Big U's modus operandi, how he does business. Oh, you know why he gave him back to 40? Because he was going to charge him 20 for getting the 40 back from y'all. You know, that's how he do. Now it's in the algorithm in front of 5 million people. And the prosecution can utilize that exact evidence, which they did, to feed to a grand jury to believe that a crime has occurred and that was part of the crime. That was part of the overt act. This is nasty work, bro. Let's go. Wack100, open source back.
Of course. He did that to when I did that to Meek Mills and Rick Ross.
What'd you do to that?
Meek Mills and Rick Ross.
Club, when you sweat them in the club?
Yeah.
Meek Mills and Rick Ross. So what I'm going to do tomorrow, we're going to go right back over this tomorrow, but I'm going to we're going to turn this into a video. This video going to be a video, and I'm going to bring up everything that I said is open source intelligence in the Big U's indictment. The Meek Mills and Rick Ross shit they talked about here is in the overt acts. Did you take, you know why he took 40? That's in the overt acts. This is modus operandi. This is how you do your licks. This is how you do your extortion. And Wack100 speaking from a position of knowledge, and credibility because he was friends and around Big U for 15 years. Loose Cannon lying, but saying he was around him that long, but they don't care because it corroborates the same story Wack100's telling. Nasty work. We're going to put this together.
Meek and Rick have no idea that Draw sent you at him.
Yeah. No, yeah, they sent that because I called Ross. I'm like, Ross,
boy, this shit getting crazy.
Drop off the 50,000 and we're going to let Meek live.
Another open source intelligence. Big U's lining these rappers up. Meek Mill's, Rick Ross, and they don't even know it. He's sending you at him and then saying he knew nothing about it. All along, he the one that sent you. Motor operandi. Cooperation.
On Crib. So Ross dropped off the 50,000. And so me and the homies, we go back. He stopped answering the phone. He stopped picking up and shit like that. And we were like, what you doing? Like 2 days later, he called me. He was like, oh, nephew, where you at? And I'm like, nigga, where my money at? And he was like, oh, I needed it for bills. I needed it for... I'm like, what? Like, cause that's some weird shit. And then he stopped answering the phone because I'm trying to pull up on him. Like, bro, you got to come and see me. And then it's like, we were doing a TV show like a while back, right? And I'm on a phone. He FaceTimed me. So he FaceTimed me and stuff like that. He was like,
have you ever seen a product that transforms any ordinary space into a dreamy underwater world in just 1 second? Meet the Kamau Immersive Ocean Projector, the mood light that's taking the market by storm.
Nipsey just got killed. I'm like, 6-0. I didn't hear that. So I hang up with him. I called Nipsey, and I'm like, Nipsey, what's up? He was like, oh, what's up with it?
Nipsey answered.
Nipsey answered. He answered the phone, and I was like, I love you, cuz, or whatever like that.
Did you tell him the call you just got, or you didn't even mention it?
I didn't mention it. And that's what fucked me up because my cousin is Nipsey baby mama. You get what I'm saying? So it was like I could have probably stopped it or it had it.
Stop what? Fuck you mean? That fuck you talking about?
No, because listen. So after I talked to Nipsey and I was like, yeah, I love you, cuz or whatever like that. I'll see you later or whatever. So I hung up the phone. I thought Big U gave wrong information. 30 minutes later, the homies blowing me up like they just killed Nipsey. And so I'm like,
wait. You get a call from Big U telling you Nipsey just got killed.
Yeah.
You panic, call Nip. Nip answer the phone.
Yeah. And
you
we
like
just talking on regular. So it's like at the end of the day, I didn't even think about it because
you don't even warn him that you got that call from dude.
No, because their relationship was so fucked up. It'd be like they be hot 1 minute, then they be cold the next minute, and then they be lukewarm. Like you
and
just
30 minutes after you get out the phone with Nip, he get killed.
Yeah, I got it.
So you think he hit you a little too early?
Yep, he hit me a little bit too early because the homie Shitty double back 3 times. You get what I'm saying? And first he shot him, boom, go into the alley, came back and shot him, boom. It wasn't good enough. And then he came back and he shot him again. But now it's like
how did he know?
Yeah, no, but
that's crazy.
It's deep. So it's like, I don't know who to trust.
Now, let me ask you a question. I heard this. I don't know this. I heard that Shitty and Nipsey had a fight.
Yeah, they had
they
had a fight like a week before that. When they had a fight, you know, Shitty ain't known for fighting.
Yeah, not at all.
He known for
doing
the other things. So at the end of the day, it's like Nipsey beat him up. Nipsey is what's like 6'4", 6'5". Shitty is like 5'5", 5'6". You know what I'm saying? Like frails. Like he get high.
So there was already some friction there.
Yeah, it was already friction because of like some police telling shit. And
now let me ask you something, bro, because you know they gon'. I know you. See, you don't say nothing. You kind of like me in a way. You don't say nothing unless.
But the homies know. So it's like it's not like I'm saying something that they don't know. You get what I'm saying? So it's like for me. It's like you telling me, oh, I'm fucking with the police or whatever like that, trying to smooth your background out. So I'm like on 6-0, I'm gonna expose your buster ass neighborhood crib. And if a nigga take it any type of way, they could get at me or I'll pull up and get at them. It's like
so you pretty much saying he called you, told you Nip got killed. You called Nip in a panic. He answered the phone. When you hear his voice, you like, well, Nip ain't dead, but you don't warn him what he said. 30 minutes later, you get a call after the fact, Nip dead.
Yeah.
Never do these 3 things after a car accident if you want to potentially receive any money at all. Number 1, never sue the person who hit you.
Also, that's also third-party cooperation, right? Wack100 platforming Loose Coochie Ashley is third-party cooperation. You know what's crazy? Loose and Brick was already compromised, and Wack knew they was working, and he went ballistic after they was locked up. This Super Ed talking. Shout out to Lou from the Lou. He sound like he lying. Big U must have fucked Kimberly. These niggas said all this and never went to the hood, man. Shut up. This snitching shit is crazy, brazy. You ain't never lied, bro. However they want to say it, that shit is crazy. But that's open source intel. I took off my Cash App so that y'all can remember this while we talking about it. But it's also third-party cooperation. Wack100 platforming and utilizing somebody else to snitch on and take out his enemies. Yesterday, somebody I don't know on Instagram hit me up. They said that they calling the feds to report CS2 back for sending Adam fake porn. Shit. I don't know him. I didn't tell him to do it. Go ahead. Just send me the video that you did it. That'll be my proof that you did it. Until then, we ain't going to run it. But CS2 back might have federal issues about sending that video of child corn, old girl's daughter. Child corn sent that to Adam 22. Why you got that on your in your phone anyway? Let's go. Nasty work. It's going down. But difference is they said they was gonna do it. I'm not gonna talk them out of it. And I'm gonna play the video to prove that he actually did that if that's what he does. I never got the video, but Wack100 knew what this nigga was doing, egged him on, corroborated statements that he said to lend credence to it, and platformed them with DJ Akademiks and No Jumper and Cam Capone. Nasty work.
Not necessarily shows that, because he never said Big U told me to chase after him. That would be different. He said I was there with Big U, and any lawyer's gonna argue, okay, if I was there with a guy who then picks up a gun and chases someone and kills him, how am I in the conspiracy of murder?
Good question. Let me answer your question. Okay. So the incident that transpired in that airport, we know about it because Wack talked about it. Big U didn't talk about it. And when Big U became aware that Wack was telling this story, Big U came out and said that it was not true. Yes. So my question to you, let's just deal with logic here. Why is this an overt act that has been added to Big U's supplemental or superseding indictment when they have no evidence whatsoever that he did anything other than sit back and watch Wack do it? So if we know this because Wack self-admitted that he did it. So if he self-admitted that he did it, if he self-admitted, he admitted that he initiated it, he shot at Future, he initiated the contact with Future, he chased Future, and then he forced Future into a situation where he cornered him on a jet bridge, where he extorted him under the threat of violence. So you tell me, how can a person do all that shit, and then the feds put that on Big U, and don't list Wack100 as a material witness or as a co-conspirator because he's the one who did every goddamn thing.
I'm glad you said that. So now this is where I think there's a middle ground. What I would agree is that while proven a RICO or any type of conspiracy, and I have to just, I'm not saying it for your education, I'm saying it for the education of the audience who's watching and listen to us. So an overt act. So in a conspiracy, no matter if it's statewide or if it's federal, they're going to have a predicate offense, and then they're going to have overt acts. Now, the predicate offense is you shot someone. Those are actual crimes that could be charged by themselves. Now, the overt act is to establish a pattern. It's to show the other acts that basically prove that it wasn't only that he shot someone, he linked up with other people. He told this guy, yo, go get this laser for my gun that I could make sure I don't miss. Yo, could you book him for the club? Like booking him for the club to make sure he gets there is an overt act. That's not a you can't get charged by so I guess I would say I said all that to say for this overt act to be proven, Wack, if he's the only one who's ever said the story, now Wack has basically told us he feels like one of Big U's homies has told the story, but whatever.
So he's not the only one to tell the story then. So let me interrupt you for a second. So listen, you just described what an overt act was in relationship to overall conspiracy. So listen, all the stories that Wack100 has told about Big U, they really speak to Big U's character because he's telling about what happened with Nipsey Hussle when Nipsey got killed. He trotted Loose Cannon up on Adam 22's platform, and he pushed Loose Cannon to say a story about Big U calling him and telling him that
look how cold Akademiks is.
And then he interviewed another person. This is all Big U. He interviewed another person who identified himself as a Crip, saying that Big U paid him to steal a U-Haul truck filled with $40,000 of Christmas toys from in front of Big U's house. The guy said that he was supposed to get paid once they get the money from the GoFundMe. He talked about that. So all these things that Wack has described about Big U.
So again, I'm asking you, like, in any debate, you try to state what your opinion is. Me, I say, if anything, Wack is a suspect. Wack is not a cooperant. And if he was a cooperative,
this is his narrative.
I think he would be listed or described differently. Now, will they try?
So this is his narrative. He would be listed or described differently. Nigga, you could be the suspect. You could be the appellant, and you could still be informant.
Try to get him to testify. Of course, right? But the idea, and this is a public narrative, that Wack is a cooperative and he's a snitch, I can't buy into it when I'm watching them describe that they basically could lock him up, potentially, if they have enough on him too. So back to your story, right? And you mentioned that he did these interviews with these guys. Wack plays dirty. And I guess you being from the street, your opinion. Hold on, let me just finish. Your opinion, I'll weigh more than mine in this. This is how, and I've heard Wack say this many times. If he doesn't like you, okay, there is no street nigga code that he protects you from getting in trouble with the law if someone else that doesn't like you is on a podcast with him and is willing to snitch on you. So
we're not saying he got to protect his ops from people doing it. What we're saying is he provoked it and platformed it and convinced these niggas to do it. He persuaded these people to do it. This wasn't something they planned on doing before. Wack is the orchestrator. He learned from the orca. He was brought to death row by the orca. Veggie wrong, bro. That's what we're talking about.
That's what he's always said with the Loose Cannon situation. He's like, I don't fuck with this nigga anyway. And Loose Cannon's his own man. If he's willing to do this, notice Wack didn't say, hey, I was with Big U in X, Y, and Z, and Big U did anything. The only story is this situation with Future, and he said Big U did nothing. So
no. Oh, no. I beg to differ. That's not the only story. Listen, when Wack100, when he sat next to Loose Cannon, and Loose Cannon described that he had received a phone call from Big U talking about Nipsey being dead before he was dead. That is Wack put him in a position. He can't hide behind, well, somebody else told the story, not me. That's the Crips did that. Ain't no rules on Big U's indictment. He helped put people who he knew had fell out with Big U. He used those dumbass niggas. And he used their anger at Big U. He used that for his benefit to get at Big U, who he didn't like. That's clear as day. That's number one. Number two, you talked about what the overt act was. Everything that Wack100 has said about Big U over the last 3 or 4 years, it has all led to establishing the overt act. It all has led to thinking about the character. Everything he did, he was shooting at Big U's character. Big U's a thief. Big U's a murderer. Big U set this play up. Big U set that play up. Wack has been using podcasts.
Dogface cooking right now.
Platforms like yours, like No Jumper, and like everybody else.
But are you saying these, like, again, my caveat was that has he probably allowed or platformed people who have accused Big U of actually committing crimes or said, oh, I was there committing a crime in Big U? Yes.
Hey.
But I kind of do understand his
So
nuance.
if you're saying yes, hey, Akademiks, if you're saying that, so listen, you're Akademiks, you're the most powerful person in urban media. No Jumper is no small fish. And so when you talk about who you are and what access he has to you and what it means when he tells a story, you are a bullhorn for Wack100, brother.
All right, hold on. Let me ask you a question, because I seen you just had on Moses Malone Jr. on your podcast, and
Yes.
I'm not gonna lie, very entertaining.
Served.
I suggest everyone watch it, and we're gonna play some clips.
Thank you.
We're gonna play some clips from it today. So there are some people that will say, well, just like how Wack100 allowed Loose Cannon to say certain things, you allowed him to say that James Harden is a criminal. Like,
ooh, Dogface, you can't be selective politicking. Wack is foul when he do it, but you cool with it on your platform. See, these niggas don't really have an issue with what Wack100, the slimy shit Wack100 doing. These niggas want the clout, and they good with that type of behavior. Because you just had Moses Malone Jr. on your platform. How you gonna answer that? Now, this definitely was a DJ Akademiks moment to deflect and to put him on the defensive, of course. But there is no defense from it. You can't act as if you're taking a moral high ground and you got shit all on your windows. We no cut, no smut over here. Damu and Kiwe Conversation.
I'm not gonna lie. After that interview, I said James Harden, needs to go to jail. Like, James Harden is out here like Aaron Hernandez. That's what Wack has done. Like, Wack has just allowed people like Loose Cannon and others to basically tie the rope around another man's neck and hang them motherfuckers. I'm not gonna say it's not diabolical, but
it is.
I don't know if you could directly blame Wack for like cooperating or snitching when he's allowing someone else.
I'm the most hated on YouTube in our sector. They all hate Duse M was the first to do the work. Good journalism, bro. They act as if I never existed. But it's good. Let's go. And the crazy thing was, Big U was part of the Damu and Kiwe Conversation podcast. How could you guys act as if we weren't instrumental, weren't the ones already exposing all of this shit, when Big U, who we're talking about, who has the RICO today, was a part of the Damu and Kiwe Conversation? When Brick Baby was a part of the Damu and Kiwe Conversations. It's nasty work. Let's go.
Who's willing to do it?
Let me tell you the difference between me interviewing a person who's telling his story, right? So listen, here's the difference. Wack100, he is orchestrating these things. And now we are sitting back debating whether what he said is true or not true. So why are we debating? He's saying that he has full knowledge of it. He was there, and he has expressed his intent of taking Wack100 down. I mean, taking Big U down, and he has said out his mouth that he's going to use the Crips against the Crips. And he's pointed out that the things that have taken place with Big U, those things were all done by Crips. But what he has left out is that he himself have put these people in positions, and he's ushered them into positions for their voices to be louder. That's number one. Number two, the stuff that he's talked about, he was rough with Big U back in the day. So he had precise knowledge of what was taking place, like the whole airport thing. Who knew that except him? So when he's trying to attribute that somebody close to Big U, one of his Confederates, one of his partners, told the story. But the only person that we know for the record who has told that story about what happened in that airport is him.
Okay, so again, I'm trying to get to that top line understanding. So do you believe that Wack is either feeding information to the feds? Do you believe that Wack is cooperating in this case? Or do you just think he's just a slimy dude that's, you know, when he's in beef with someone, he finds a way to, you know, publicly tell on you, like maybe bring other people on?
A, B, C, and D, nigga. I believe A, B, C, and D, nigga. A, B, multiple choice, all of them, nigga. I'm a circle E. A, B, C, D, E. I'm choosing E. He's all of the above. Wack100 is operating minus any type of moral compass whatsoever. Wack100 would do anything.
See, it's easy to throw rocks, but just remember at a glass house, but you can't be living in the glass house because people throwing back at you. Dogface, that shit you was pulling, and I didn't even watch the whole shit. Moses Malone's a super informant. People say, oh, but he's a civilian. Listen, bro, civilian working with the slave master. Imagine we on the plantation right now, and he's running to Massa reporting what's going on the plantation. It don't have to be no street nigga. You still a Sambo. You still a sellout. And for those who try to say, well, he's not a street nigga, well, you got something wrong with your moral compass. You guys say that a lot of you guys believe in Jesus Christ. When Judas betrayed Jesus for those silver pieces or gold pieces, do you know the disciples tried to stone him? They tried to stone him. Was Jesus a street nigga? Were the disciples street niggas? You niggas go out your way to redefine what a snitch is so that it can become acceptable in our culture. Because you niggas is already subservient to massa. This shit is crazy. Shit's fucking disgusting. Well, let's get to the content, because I told y'all we cooking tonight. I know y'all didn't think it was gonna be that easy, right? Let's go here. Ooh, this is gonna be good. Hold on. Let me get it ready for y'all, man. Hit that like button. We cooking, bro. We cooking. So let's get to this. Shout out my guy, Scandalous Los Angeles TV. But we told y'all that CS2 back was a rat. We told y'all since 2000, since he caught that gun case, Wheeler County, Texas. Since they raided his house in the death row investigation, the Biggie Small murder. Since they raided the house in connection with Tanisha Swan, stealing these exotic cars and tagging them, moving them from state to state from the Mexican border. Since the Main Street case, where he went and took the blackmail extortion message to Shaquille O'Neal and Money Mark Stevens. Y'all don't remember? We got the content.
One story, back to back. But this is what Porky does.
We been doing this.
Now
nigga.
let me show you guys how Porky fell on his own sword.
You niggas
won't find
is
this
our
next clip on
children,
YouTube
nigga.
anymore,
Damu and Kiwe
because Porky had Cheeseburger Chuck take it down.
Hey, Big Chuck, we just want to talk about when he gonna bring the audio from being talking to them people. We want to know what he said. We could clear all this up.
Who's that, Chuck? That's Duse. Yo, why is PCK always talking to me? We in the streets. We ain't got nothing to talk about. Every time he does this, it's a PC move.
Always notice how Porky reacts when Deuce questions him. He can't stand it. He cuts him off, yells over him, or accuses him of PCing for talking to him on a social platform. But when it comes to DZ from SBGB-TV, it's a whole different story. Porky gives him content and plays along.
Oh, what's up, homie?
Okay, yeah, as long as it's Wack100.
As long as it's Wack.
Not doing that. Hey, listen, I'm not doing that.
Listen to me. Hey, listen to me.
Wait, how many of you niggas in the chat is SBGB TV supporters? He said, well, only if it's Wack, I'm going to take this call. Only if it's Wack. Nigga glazing Wack before y'all face, and y'all think he really got an issue with Wack. This nigga's a cornball. He's an informant. He was a snitch. Y'all crazy, bro. Some of y'all niggas slow as molasses, bro. Green as a pool table, twice as square, bro.
Shit, right? We always know what we're doing, right? We always know what we're doing. And believe it or not, right? We are the most supported people of our people on the internet, right? It's a lot we can do. Remember, I'm an industry guy. I'm tied in the labels. I'm tied in the YouTube, right? So what I'm telling you, brother, is like, I called in to you intentionally because I saw you was building. I didn't have to do that. People pay me to do that. I did it. I said, so let me call in and give them the content. We always know what we're doing. And I'm saying that to say this. At some point, bro, you run your content, but you got to have some type of reserve when you're running it. Because remember, it's our content. You get what I'm saying? And then, okay, so doing these type of things, right? There's certain things that, especially when it comes to me as a public figure, right? I own me. You're right. I haven't given you a verbal or signed anything, right? So what I'm saying is, as a brother, when I'm talking as a brother, fuck to people. When a brother is calling in to help you, because I'm giving you. You notice the content I gave you, you've been able to chop that shit up and.
SBGB-TV, Wack called SBGB-TV his brother. He said, the content I gave you, Wack is giving SBGB-TV the content. And y'all thought SBGB-TV was really against CS2 back? This is nasty work, man.
For about a month now, a couple of weeks. Really? A month? Right, at least, right? But it kind of come to some point, bro, to where it's just not like an attack thing. Because then at that point in time, listen to me, you as a brother, I'm a businessman, right? At that point in time,
you seen the victim in him.
Just from friend to foe. I called in as a friend. No matter what our back and forth was, I chose to stay on the phone. I know, I've been doing this social media shit forever. I know what I'm doing. If I don't fuck with you, I'll never say a word to you. I won't even utter your name. If you see a lot of people, I ignore them. I won't say their name because the minute I say something to them, I have a conversation with them. It helps still. You get what I'm saying? I know that. I know what I'm doing. If I don't fuck with you, I'll never say a word to you. I won't even utter your name. If you see a lot of people, I ignore them. I won't say their name because the minute I say something to them, I have a conversation with them. It helps still. You get what I'm saying? I know that. So I'm telling you, brother to brother, run your content.
I have been buying organic for 3 years.
I'm telling
I thought the
you,
USDA
brother
label
to
meant
brother,
something. I thought I was doing the right thing for my kids. Then I saw what came off the strawberries I thought were clean.
Here's what comes off a bowl of strawberries. Hey, remember Joel had woman to woman. This nigga CS2 back on here with SBGBTV singing brother to brother. If you never understand, if you need content, Wack gonna give you a hand. Brother to brother.
Content. Gave you content. Gave you content.
I gave you content.
We have nothing to talk about. It's established. Chuck, this is what you call a PC move. Bro, stop talking. Why you keep warning the people? Leave our shit in the street.
Skechers has the
Funky Roll 4 play.
It's a hands-free holiday with Skechers.
Juvie, Funky Roll 4 play is crazy, nigga.
Listen, every time you do this, you saying fuck your neighborhood because you on some PC shit. It's in the street, bro. Leave it where it's at. Meaning you don't talk like this. We leave it in the street, in the darkness. Why this everywhere?
You're not in the street,
screaming.
Not in the street. Stop it.
Dulo.
You ain't in the power rules. You ain't in Gonzalez. You don't hang in the parts in the garages. Remember, weird ass niggas. Stop faking. Yeah, stop faking.
You making Food Town Brim look bad right now.
I'm one of the greatest things that ever came from the 30s, bro.
Food Town Brims, y'all know when it's street business and it's up to the disrespect level of me and him, he ain't supposed to do this shit. It's a PC move. I'm gonna mute up, Chuck. When he done doing the PC shit, I'll holler at you.
Well,
I didn't hear you when he done.
Well, I didn't
Luke
say
from
nothing
the
about
Luke,
me.
salute.
I asked you about the statement that you made.
Is
if
that
you
Luke from the Luke?
waive your Miranda rights, that means
Give
that
Lou
there's a statement in audio. You need to go get that and prove you ain't CS2 back. That got nothing to do with me and you. That's you trying to clear your name. Don't bring the police. The police can't vouch to say that you not working with the police.
You got Food Town Brim looking bad right now, bro. We in the streets. You got, bro, stop PCing. Don't talk to me on no open platform. You got Food Town Brim looking bad. It's real gangsters over there. Why you doing PC ass shit? I'm gonna mute up again, bro.
What's that got to do with your paperwork? Bring the paperwork and the statement that you made to the task force and the FBI on the Main Street case and the Tupac and Biggie murder and clear your name. You say that the truth can never be considered disrespectful.
Hey, Chuck, you know what would be funny, right? This would be funny. I'm talking about it's when people say dumbass shit. It makes them look dumb. Chuck, I was in the penitentiary from 1993 to 1999. When was Tupac and Biggie killed, Chuck?
96, right? We're brothers.
96, 97, right?
High five.
I mute up, but I gave a statement on him. I mute up.
Let's make sure Wack knows that he ain't fooling nobody. Hey, Wack, the Tupac and Biggie murder are still unsolved. That means it's still being investigated right now. We can show plenty of people who were in jail during the time of the murders, who gave statements about the murder. You ever heard of a jailhouse informant? You ever heard about Kenneth Bo Agnew? What about Waymond Anderson? Marion Knight and Studderbocks were both suspects in the murder.
I don't know.
And you were around both of them during the time investigations were taking place. So you could have very easily been giving the police information you obtained while being around them.
I say you gave a statement to the task force that was investigating that. Greg Cadence, and then the other officer that said you was arrested.
Well, first of all, there were no arrests made other than Cash Jones.
Chuck, if I'm in the penitentiary from 1993 to 1999, what the fuck could I give a statement on, Chuck?
Listen, bro, you admitted that Greg Cadence, that you went to the 64.
Chuckawalla.
You are saying some of the dumbest shit.
With Death Row, though, like in
2001. 2001.
Yeah, he was telling Enroy.
2001. This guy, he don't know because he wasn't around. Stop making the Brims look bad, bro. Leave our shit in the street. It's already up.
Solitary.
Chill out.
We already been Madison with us. You in Madison with us. Stop talking to me, bro. Why are you talking to me when it's on? You're doing a PC move.
Yeah, we knew we were close to missing.
What I'm talking about is your paperwork. Stop spinning, stop deflecting. When is you going to bring you to provide the paperwork? From the 60 I don't have no paperwork. I don't have paperwork. I was never arrested, questioned nothing. I don't have paperwork.
Never questioned. He was never questioned. Did y'all just hear him say, I don't have paperwork. I was never arrested, lie, questioned, or nothing. He said he was never questioned. Hey, there's only one more thing we need from this video, and then we finna cook.
Wack just claimed he has no paperwork because he was never arrested or even questioned.
Check this out. We're generating the doors with Firefly.
This is nasty work, bro. This nigga got up there and lied and said he was never questioned.
You guys heard it straight from former Los Angeles Sheriff Michael Cowett. The only person who got arrested was Porky. Reggie and John deleted the clip, so don't bother looking for it on YouTube. Porky swore up and down that he was never brought in for questioning. Remember that.
It's on you to provide the paperwork. PK Wack, Lil Wack, Wack100,
or the Wack boy, or the Wack boy, or the Wack boy.
Put that on Fruit Down Brim. Put that on Fruit Down Brim. I go. On Fruit Down Brim. Put that on Fruit Down Brim. Back. On your dead homie. You CS2 back, aka I'm gonna go get to work.
All right, guys.
Now, I'm gonna go get to work. Now that
we've heard all that, and we've heard Porky himself.
That's all we needed. He said he was never questioned, right? He said there is no paperwork. He was never questioned, right? And then just for y'all, so y'all know, if Wack don't sign the motion to unseal, 39% said, I know he's CS2 back. 7% say he started working in Wheeler, Texas. If he don't sign the motion to unseal, he's finally exposed, 6%. And then 49%, almost half of y'all said, if he don't sign, it's all of the above. That's a fact. So let's get to this real quick. He says, he said he was never questioned. Oh, this is the nastiest work ever right here. See, when you get, you gotta line this nigga chin up like, put that, and just knock blood out. The nigga he talks so much. But see, I get him off balance. You know what I'm saying? I'm that nigga kryptonite. You know what I'm saying? So let's blow this up real quick. Can y'all see? Can y'all see what that is? That's from Detective Greg Caton, the same cop that he brought to the thing, who admits that that's Wack on that wiretap, who admits that the paperwork says CS2 back. So I get in his inbox on Facebook Messenger, and I say, I'm trying to locate the investigative report on your interview of Cash Jones and the audio or video recording thereof. How can I obtain that? I don't think it would be available, Lamonte. I said, well, I don't think they would destroy evidence of an ongoing investigation. He waived his Miranda rights, so there has to be documentation of that. And any statement pertaining to the investigation, pertinent or non-pertinent, would not be destroyed. That's what I put inside that that motion to unseal. So Greg Caton says, I'm not saying it doesn't exist. I'm saying it would be hard to get your hands on it. I said, as a citizen, don't I have right to access such public records? Not necessarily. I said the only way that we the people wouldn't have a right to access public records is if those records contain confidential information. Even then, I should be able to get a redacted version. He said, or if it's related to an open homicide case. Do y'all get that? I contacted this detective that Wack admits that he talked to on the 60th floor. This detective who admits that he talked to Wack 100 at Wack 100's defense counsel's office. So this dude that done talked to Wack twice is the same detective that Wack 100 brought to Clubhouse to validate to the streets that he's not working and informing to this detective. Make it make sense. And I asked him about the statement that Wack admits that he gave, that he's not denying that he gave. And he said, I wouldn't be able to get it if it's related to an open homicide case. The open homicide case is the same open homicide case that the Joint Task Force was investigating. And that's the unaliving of Christopher Wallace. This goes back directly to what we watched in the other video where Stutterbox said,
I work for Pella because I know it's a company
that
builds
like
and
button.
installs
I told
a
y'all
quality
we finna
product.
cook.
The people that I meet,
We finna up to the upper conference room. Hit that like had button. To give him something clean. So we gave him Poochie. Poochie killed Biggie. Wack 100 doesn't want to give us this statement and doesn't want to go on the Main Street shit, but that wasn't enough to get him out. So that's like small shit, right? Because he gave up Mary and Suge Knight in the unaliving of the notorious B.I.G. Let's get back to the content. So I said, I understand that. That in itself indicates enough about the contents of Cash's statements therein. Then he says, Jones didn't provide any pertinent info as far as we were concerned. So he said he didn't give us nothing that was pertinent for us to use in our investigation. First, I don't believe you. Second of all, nigga, what's pertinent to your investigation and what's pertinent to the streets determining whether or not he's an informant is two different things. You understand what I'm saying? I said Tupac is very loved religiously. So what happened or is alleged to have happened should be available to his family and followers. He says, subjectivity aside, it is not the practice nor purpose of law enforcement to involve itself in public affairs that are of non-criminal matter. If Cash has something to say about Pop that is criminally non-pertinent, you can simply reach out to him and request an interview. He can make his own choice. So I just hit the thumbs up because I see he was shutting down. Then he says, to help you further, I believe Jones was in CYA at the time both Pac and Big were shot. You can probably verify that. Therefore, if he was incarcerated, any thoughts he had about the murders would be mere opinion or hearsay. I said, thank you for your help or assistance. Scandalous already broke that down. They got jailhouse snitches everywhere. All you got to do is turn on rap news and street politics. They stay hitting niggas with these jailhouse snitches, getting niggas to confess to crimes and murders and hearsay, right? I said, as far as your task force for Tupac Biggie murders, but I specifically questioned the Main Street case, the kidnapping of Stutterbox. He said, yeah, that's an interesting story. I said, he waived his Miranda rights and spoke with you in relation to the Tupac Biggie murder investigation. I said, you admitted that you didn't know what was going on with the Stutterbox and Main Street case at the time you spoke with Cash Jones. It wasn't until later that you got involved with that case. He said, I was there before it started, which is inconsistent with his statement when he first came to Clubhouse. So I sent him the link. I don't know if the link's still up, Wack100 and them and the police been scrubbing the internet. Let's see if this works. T Sweezy, what up? Oh, pay attention. We finna cook. It's not. It's the clip can be unavailable if it was deleted. They scrubbed the internet, bro. That's what I was trying to tell y'all. So that clip ain't even available. But I sent him a clip, and you see it says Greg Caden says he doesn't know what Back has going on with the Main Street case. Greg became involved later. I said, then why did you say you didn't know what was going on with Stutterbox in the Main Street case? I said, so you were adjoined to the Fed case before it started? So Detective Greg Caden then sends me, wow, bro, I just paid attention to something. You can see his finger, a white finger. And this is his calendar. January 10th, Thursday, 2008. Work at 0600 hours, 9 a.m. to 12 o'clock. Detective Bureau briefing with Chief Brennan. Met with C. Metro Romance and Mark Arenas. Reed, Del Dog, and bringing case to the feds, right? EOW 2000 Rampart. But I just seen something that I never seen before. There's a picture up here. So when he went and got this, he had to go in these files. This is the work behind this, bro. For him to grab this.
The end of the night, cause be so your baby don't be so polite.
That picture that's back there, that paperwork that's back there, the binder, I hope y'all can see that. Yeah, y'all can see it a little bit at the upper top. All of that shit is the case. He had to pull it up out of there, right? But anyway, let's get back to the content, right? So let's go back to Greg Caden. Damn, what happened? I said, so he sent that, and he said, the investigators on the Main Street Crip case asked me to help federalize their case. I opened up the case as a federal case 2 weeks later. The case name was The Main Attraction, January 2008. So he helped federalize the Main Street Crip case. Let it be known, where Wack100 was talking to Reggie Wright on the earlier video, he said that the Main Street case was only a state case. The kidnapping of Stutterbox was only being tried as a state case. But the investigation into Deja 34, the Main Street Mafia Crips, extortion, home invasion, and all of these other crimes were being investigated as a federal investigation. Wack100 was lying to y'all so that y'all wouldn't know that he had been and met with the federal authorities, because most people got common sense, or whoever dealt with the feds know that when the feds come, it's because they got you. The Main Attraction. So then I say, oh, okay, that makes sense, because Cash Jones admitted that he went to the 64th floor on Wilshire to speak with you guys and saw everyone in FBI flak jackets. So Cash Jones did speak with the investigators in the Main Street Mafia Crip case. So when you said, as the lead investigator for the Tupac Biggie murder investigation, Cash had nothing pertinent to add, that didn't include any information that he may or may not have provided pertaining to the Main Street Crip investigation. Then they said he didn't have anything to say about anything. So now he's getting very cold. He's shutting it down. Remember earlier he said he didn't provide nothing pertinent to our investigation. But he didn't say that he didn't have nothing to say, period, right? That position has changed. I'm digging too deep. I said, then why is Mark Stevens saying that Cash called him several times trying to get in contact with Del Dog, but Del Dog was cool on that brother? In the transcribed wiretap on the Main Street case, that matches up to CS2 back calling Mark Stevens. In the wiretap, Mark Stevens even refers to not helping the Wack boy in a long time, while telling Del Dog that he had just called several times saying box went sour and the phones are compromised. Then I sent the transcribed wiretap right here. This is the conversation I'm having with the detective because I'm hot on his ass and he's shutting down. This is the CS2 back at the top. CS2 back. And then the Wack boy, right? So let me bring this down. So then I sent him the documentary from World Star, part 1, 2, and 3. I said, you did your movie with the Hollywood effects. I did a 3-part documentary investigating the real truth, questioning 2 players directly involved. He said, I'm telling you, Cash Jones was not an informant, period. You can choose to believe or you can choose not to. I don't know what else to tell you. I said, I bet. Thank you for your information. So then I sent him the content. Then I sent him the 137. He said, Jesus, Carson is such a fucking moron. All Reggie needs to do is post the 137 paperwork, which I have on numerous sources, right? I said, I'm sure you have, but you were only privy to 137 paperwork for cases you had access to. He's essentially saying that you weren't clear for access to all FBI files, only selective access, need to know basis. Okay, what's the point though? The only case that matters is the one we are talking about, right? Correct. What date did you raid Cash Jones' house? What date did Cash Jones meet you with counsel?
Start building skills for today's tech jobs. Learn more at wgu.edu.
And spoke with you. I'll look, it might be a few days. I give him a thumbs up. I say you got back with the date Cash House was raided, nor the date when you spoke with him. If you got to hide that information, I understand. No reason to hide anything, nothing to hide. I just forgot. This nigga said, no reason to hide anything, nothing to hide. I just forgot. Nasty work, right? I said, okay, how soon can you get it to me? He said, what's it for? My documentary. Search warrant. Friday, April 25th, 2008. Meeting with Cash Jones, an attorney. Sunday, April 27th, 2008. So Wack100 was arrested on a Friday. I mean, the search warrant was served on a Friday, right? They raided his house. They raided his truck, pull his diesel over. They searched his truck. Alonzo, Zoe Scott, right? Then 2 days later, on a Sunday, going up to the 60th floor on a Sunday. FBI office nationally are closed on Sundays. The FBI headquarters is closed on a Sunday. But his meeting with Cash Jones 2 days after they raided Cash Jones' house was on a Sunday. FBI headquarters, right? And so we finna get to cooking now because this is almost over. It's been 2 hours, and I'm giving it to y'all, man, but I don't want to give y'all too much. You know what I'm saying? So let's go to what was being said when he got up there to this 60th floor, even though it's only 17th floor. That nigga's heart was in his stomach, nigga. That nigga was scared as a motherfucker. It felt like it was going up 60th floor. So let's go.
Second thing they had against me.
Oh, that's the second thing. Let's go to the first.
Wiretap. This is why I know when I hear certain wiretaps was conspiracy, how they get you.
No, we finna back this up like they Juvenile. Hold on.
Yeah. Office, they would see a picture of me, him, Suge, the truck, and they pulled the nigga over, and all he had was magazines in the back.
Yeah.
Uncle Jerome is Stutterbox, and the nigga in the truck is Wack. That really happened.
Man.
It's a book, actually, nigga. Look, I'll PTR. It's a book called Murder Rap by Greg Cadence. You can go to the chapter called Stutterbox. You're going to see a picture of me, him, Suge. The police that all these snitches work for, when he retired, he exposed them all. Keefe, Deep, and Compton, Crip. He exposed all his informants. So that's the picture in the book in my PTR. That's that one. That's that my brother. Me, Suge, and that Stutterbox to the left. Right?
Yeah.
So if you go to the chapter called Stutterbox, they gonna break down everything he did. And like, yeah, out of nowhere, he came in, gave us this man's name, told us he had a trucking company. If you want to get to Suge, you got to go through him. He moving cocaine and dope from here to there. They spend $300,000-$400,000, nigga, with wires, tracking devices, all kind of shit. They came into my crib.
You chilling with the answer?
I lost a dog that day. My dog Wacko, one of my bulls. When they hit the back gate, he locked on the nigga. They had to shoot the nigga like 7-8 times.
Man.
Kill him. He came in, cuffed my wife. It was like 40 agents, my nigga. And couldn't find shit. Had to walk up out of here. He sent them. He had a moment. They thought they was going to find something in the house. He didn't find nothing. I still didn't know what time it was. Let me tell you what I knew what time it was. So when they come in, they hit my home office. They was searching about 18 minutes. When they got to the home office, dude called the search off. Because one of the reasons why they went in front of the judge, they filed some shit called living beyond my means. Which
living beyond his means. This is crazy, bro. That's not a charge, bro. That's not a charge. Now, you could get living beyond your means. Damu and Kiwe Conversations as a violation. You know what I'm saying? Let's go.
Which kind of supported their probable cause along with their confidential informant that they paying. He's a reliable source. So they watching the lifestyle. So when he come into the crib and he hit the home office, he sees, well, actually, let me rewind. On paper, Cash Jones made $30,000-$40,000 a year. That's it. As a Social Security number, I don't make no money. So they looking at everything and they like, this don't add up. But what they failed to do was run everything. So when they hit that home office and they seen all these different corporations and they seen these cars under this corporation, these houses under this corporation, this under this, he then knew everything was justified on my side, right? Because like even today, I haven't had a personal bank account 15, 16 years. Everything I do is up under a corp. I don't give a when I get gas, it's up under a corp. Whatever I do, so they take my files, uncuff my wife. They take her. She had 2 guns, legal guns in her.
Remember that he said they took his files from his office. So they're looking at paperwork. More than likely paperwork of the cars that he was transporting from the border to the Pacific Northwest because he was allegedly transporting cars that were tagged with Tanisha Swan. So pay attention to that too. But they also said that he talked to the Creole bitch about the 5 keys, and that I think they got him on wiretap for that. There's a whole lot going on. And then the guns. He just said a couple guns that was in his wife's name. But if you listen to Detective Greg Caden, when he went on Clubhouse, he said, well, and we didn't find nothing but a old raggedy gun that was in, I think, your wife's father's name.
Even today, I haven't had a personal bank account 15, 16 years. Everything I do is up under a corp. I don't give a when I get gas, it's up under a corp. Whatever I do is I'm operating up under a corporation.
Okay, Fantasy
So
Bambi.
my files, uncuff my wife. They
Fantasy
take her. She
Bambi
got
got
2
it.
guns, legal guns in her name in the crib. They take those. Call my attorney. We go down to the federal building off of Wilshire and Sepulveda, whatever that shit is down there. Now, this one I knew what time it was. When I go up to the 50th or 60th floor, nigga, we come out the elevator, nigga, ain't nothing but FBI flak jackets walking around this. About 2 months, maybe about a month or 2 prior to this happening at my crib, Stutterbox invited me to this spot called Stevie's on the Strip. Soul food restaurant. So when I get there, it's 2 females in.
His,
2 females
his
there,
voice
right?
breaking up, nigga. It's
Now,
so hard.
Most people
He's still
move
scared from that
a
feeling.
certain way. I'm really an eyeball type of nigga. Whack don't do, I ain't off into. So when I get there, it's him, it's 2 chicks at the table. I sit at the table. What up, Box? What you need me for? Oh man, nigga, just get you out the house, nigga, hang out a little bit. 2 women, 2 of my homegirls, this, that, and other. I said, oh, okay, yeah, how y'all doing? How y'all doing? About 5 minutes, he said, I'm finna go to the bathroom. When he go to the bathroom, the chick start popping. She telling me she from New Orleans. She came out here to meet with this nigga. This bitch ass nigga answer his phone. She come out here every month to buy 5 keys, all this shit, right? So when she talking, I'm looking at the bitch, right? Bitch bad. So when Box come back, I tell him I gotta go to the bathroom. So I make my way to the bathroom. Instead of making the left, I make a hard right to valet. I get on up out of there.
You chilling with the answer.
Right? When I got to the 60th floor, T-Money, guess who I saw the FBI flak jacket? The bitch.
That's crazy.
Right? So I say, damn, that's the same bitch. So by now my antennas go up like, damn, I'm saying this nigga Box with a fed and don't even know it. This one, I still ain't know what time it is, right? So we get into the conference room. They got like 7, 8 feds, whoever they little leader is, whatever y'all call him. I'm sitting down, me and my attorney going crazy. We filing a lawsuit, harassment. Y'all embarrassed my client. He lives in a gated community. He can't live there anymore. Homeowners Association is filing complaints against him because you guys came the way you came. His neighbors are frowning upon him. All this shit. We playing for the bag, right? So, dude says, "Well, we still got your client on 2 different situations." He like, "Is that right? We'll put him on the table. We walking out of here, right?" So, first situation, he said, "Well, we found firearms in the house. He's an ex-con convicted felon. He can't be around firearms, right?" So I stopped my attorney. I said, "Well, you ain't found no firearms in my house." He said, "Yes, we did. These firearms and such and such." I said, "Well, I ain't never seen them firearms in my life." He said, "Well, they registered to your wife." I said, "Well, what they got to do with me?" He said, "Well, that's your wife." I said, "Okay, well, what they got?"
So you get to the FBI headquarters building, you get up to the top. First, you see the bitch. If y'all don't know the bitch that we talking about, in the movie, she was depicted as the one who said Alonzo Zo Scott. She looked good in the movie. So I can imagine how bad she was looking. Said Louisiana Creole thing, FBI bra. I can imagine how bad that bitch was. That's probably why they got him. So niggas would be like, man, even if I don't sell dope, nigga, like, wait, you looking for what? Oh man, don't even trip. I know some niggas that know some niggas. We gonna get you right. You got how much money? You know what I'm saying? And the nigga might not even sell no dope. Nigga just trying to give her whatever she need, thinking that he's gonna be in her good graces to bang that back and give her some back shots. You know what I'm saying? And CS2 back freaking blood. Oh man, that nigga, he wasn't finna pass that opportunity. But you see her, she got on the FBI flap jacket. They got your files. If you believe that they took the files out of his office. That like button. Then they saying that you're an ex-felon because they found multiple guns in the house and you're telling on your wife. You saying they was kids, right? Let's go.
You do with me. Said, well, you live in a home. I said, you can't prove I live in that home. Right? What, you got some cars that's registered to a corporation? Matter of fact, I said, can I go in my back pocket? I pull my wallet out. I slide my wallet. What's this? That's where I live. I've been a resident of Oklahoma since 2003.
I've been a resident of Oklahoma since 2003. So you've been a resident of Oklahoma since 2003. Like, we don't think the feds cross all their T's and dot all their I's, right? Damu and Kiwe Conversations. We frying CS2 back. Y'all hit that like button. We frying
Cyber here you can do
CS2 hard. Open source back. But if you check out the lawsuit against Media Lab, it says that Cash Jones is a resident of Los Angeles. You know what I'm saying? So how do you figure that? I mean, you could be a resident of all of them, but that just means you own property in all of them. So that's easier for the feds to say, well, yeah, you do live in Oklahoma and you live here too. Maybe we need to search those Oklahoma houses also, right? Hold on, I'm looking for it because I'm quite sure that I clipped that part where it says that he that he's a resident of Los Angeles. That's how they get jurisdiction. They have to first establish residence. So if your attorneys are conceding to have a Los Angeles residence on this case, how the feds wasn't able to prove that you had residence to have jurisdiction on that gun case? You know what I'm saying? But that's another issue for another time. But that's a damn lie. Let's go.
Which one you gonna put me in various states? Right? I said, you see that? Commercial driver's license. I'm a truck driver. So you putting some guns on me that's in a California residence, but yet I pay Oklahoma state taxes? Help me understand it. Let that go. Second thing they had to
let that go.
They press play. Wiretap.
Wait a minute. How many of y'all believe that they said that they found guns in this ex-felon's house and they just let that go? Put a 1 in the chat if he full of shit. You know what I'm saying? Shit was always too hot though. My wife tried to get a strap. They found out about me. She was denied. Base Pro Shop is not a place to get a piece. That girl said Alonzo Zoe Scott is the fine woman that played the plainclothes police on The Wire too. Oh, okay. So she favors Chili from TLC. She don't look like Chili from TLC. She look like a Boricua, more of a J-Lo type, bro. The feds hitting all at the same time, so you can't move. CS2 baking back. So Wacky, you lived in Oklahoma for over 20 years, but you talking shit to Big Mess and Deuce for living out of state as well. Get the fuck out of here. But this is the whole point. If you lived out of state for all of those years, then well, I guess that doesn't even matter. Yeah, he's full of shit. They put on everybody seeing through the bullshit. We almost finished though. Let's go.
This is why I know when I hear certain wiretaps was conspiracy, how they.
So if they said Greg Caden tried to lie to me and say, well, at the end, well, Wack didn't tell us nothing about nothing, right? But these is all the conversation Wack is saying he's having in a conference room at FBI headquarters. So the question comes now, why is Greg Caden lying for Wack100? Why is Greg Caden protecting Wack100? Because they flipped Wack100 into an asset. Darren Dupree and Wack100, they seen him. Once they searched him, they got everything. He got up out of there, bailed out or whatever he had to do. And he got with his lawyer, and his lawyer and Reggie probably set up a meeting for him to go talk to the feds. He went to the FBI headquarters 2 days later on a Sunday to this upper conference room where there's no one but FBI flapjackets. And he says there's 7 or 8 FBI agents and their leader being Greg Caden, right? Who was a deputized FBI agent at the time. And he's with his lawyer, and they're in this interrogation room. He said a conference room, but it was an interrogation room. But a conference room is where you converse anyway. You know what I'm saying? So you get up here, and they're telling you, look, this is what we got. They're telling your lawyer, we still got you on these guns. We found in your house, you're an ex-felon. We still got you on this wiretap. And you mean to tell me that you had a track in FBI headquarters and came out on top from them booking? That's what you want us to believe?
Get you. They got me on the phone. Said, yeah. All right, what you got? Said, we got a special move.
They got him on the phone, and then he argues what he was talking about on the phone call. Oh, I was talking about moving cars. You think the feds missed that bullet? You think they didn't cross all their T's and dot all of their I's before they came and got you for the wiretap? Before they raided for the burner? That defies how the feds move. The feds don't move on impulse. They move when they got you. So your movement up to go talk to them was their opportunity to give you a chance to tell them everything you know and work that case off. They're going to confront you and give you the opportunity.
Ask privately with Duck.ai. Visit Duck.ai to chat.
To tell them something they want to hear. You don't believe me? We'll let Greg Caden tell you when he first was brought to Clubhouse. Dumbass, rat-ass nigga. This is how you break it down. Watch this. They confront you and give you an opportunity to tell them what they want to hear. Tell them something. Why? Because they got you on the wiretap. Because they got you as an ex-felon with a gun. Because they got leverage because Kim was in handcuffs, that they going to take Kim to jail. She was a probation officer working in the penitentiary. She can lose her job for aiding and abetting a felon in possession of a firearm. They got all this leverage over you. So when you come up there, you say you don't know what you went for, that you went to go get some files that they took from your house, some paperwork. But we're going to let Greg Caden tell y'all what it was really about.
Yeah, so I remember that day, and you came down there, and we basically just confronted you on the allegations and, you know, explained to you why we were doing what we were doing, giving you the opportunity, you know, with the hopes that you would know something that could help us out.
We confronted you Wack said they said that he was living beyond his means. Wack said that they said they got him on wiretap. Wack said that they told him he was an ex-felon. This is the confront. This is what he's there for. Nigga, we got you on this. Nigga, we got you on this. Oh, them your wife guns? Yeah, them your wife guns. She's going to go down for him. So what you got for us? Hoping that you told us something. So you went down there to talk.
With the hopes that you would know something that could help us out.
With the thoughts that you would confront you with the thoughts that you would know something that would help us out.
Turned out you really didn't have any information that was beneficial to what we were pursuing.
So turns out you didn't have no information that was beneficial to what we were pursuing, meaning the Biggie case. That's what he was really pursuing. He's saying Wack didn't tell him nothing about that.
That was it. I said, hey, here's why we're here. Here's how we got here. And this is all there ultimately is to it, unless you have something you want to tell us.
This is where we're at. We got the guns. We got you living beyond your means. We got you on this wiretap talking to this bad bitch about 5 keys. So what you gonna tell us? That's how that works. The same way I told y'all before. But Wack100 is telling y'all everything else but that. Why are they confronting them unless they got the leverage? And then if you don't believe that he became a source of information or that he was a source of information, I'm going to allow Detective Greg Caton to tell y'all that also. Pay attention. Pay close attention.
And then in your paperwork, I don't know. How was I referred to? Was I referred to Wack, Cash Jones? They have this back name. I don't know who the fuck back is. I don't know. I know I've never had that moniker, but I don't know. Maybe it was some coded shit. Or how did you recall referring to me through all the paperwork when you guys were like listening in on my wiretaps? So like saying, okay, this is Wack, this is Cash Jones on the wiretap. What was I referred to in your because I've never looked over that paperwork, never had a need to. What was I referred to?
Well, you would have been identified as referred to most likely as like a target. And like your phone would have been target number, or your license plate would have been target whatever. It would have been, clearly understandable to anybody reading it that.
And then in your paperwork, I don't know. How was I referred to? Was I referred to Wack, Cash Jones? They have this back name. I don't know who the fuck back is.
Why Greg Caton didn't say, since we added some back shit, why Greg Caton didn't tell Wack right then and there back? Who is?
Make any space yours. Frog tape removables when it matters most.
New clear picture hanging strips now available.
When it comes to my daily heart health supplement, I've got 3 rules. It's got to be plant-based. It's got to be doctor recommended.
There's nothing that refers to you as back, right? But you can have him here and he's going to say something like or maybe a source of, and he catches himself.
Car, this phone, this person. This has something to do with this car, this phone, this person. We wouldn't have referred to you as an informant because you never were. We would have referred to you as a target or a source of.
We would have referred to you as a target or a source of. Listen.
We wouldn't have referred to you as an informant because you never were. We would have referred to you as a target or a source of. Not a source of information because you weren't even that. So, I'm a little vague on it right now because it's been a while, but you would have been most, we would have referred you by your name, Cash Jones. We don't usually use monikers under those circumstances, like Wack or Wack100. It would just been, a target.
Wack100, I don't think Wack100 existed yet.
It may not have.
No, he wasn't created.
I don't know.
All right. Well, listen, man. Reggie, I fucking appreciate you.
Run that back one more time.
Do all the back.
I want to hear y'all. I want y'all to hear him call him
this phone, this person. We wouldn't have referred to you as an informant because you never were. We would have referred.
So we're gonna continue this tomorrow. It's already been an extensive time. I got to get ready for work tomorrow. I got work early. And I got to get back to this legal work stuff. Y'all know we got the lawsuit with World Star going on. And then I got the Hip Hop Planet going over to hiphopplanet.com. Make sure that you register. Sign your letter of intent so that you could be a part of the founding creative artists. And get everybody you know to sign it. We need 250 letters of intent to secure this bag. At least we need more than that. The tell that conversation, sing for their line, exactly. Creative player, why Caden always talking to Reggie and Wack? Caden, like, little bitch, you know you working. I'm finna hang up. Hey, look, bro, salute everybody. Talk to y'all tomorrow. Damu and Kiwe. We really appreciate y'all, man. And without y'all, there ain't no us. Be safe, stay dangerous. LA's under look like another gang war at the end of summer, man. So many summers LA's had to deal with that. I'm praying to those who were shot, their family members, their homeboys that are mourning. We got to do better, man. Enjoy y'all evening. Peace.